Let's roll the tape back to December 2nd, 1983. Picture it, MTV flickering on the screen, all the lights turned down low, and something huge about to unfold. What's wild is not a single person in the room, none of the directors, the record execs, not even Michael Jackson, really saw what was coming. No one expected what happened next, to totally flip pop culture upside down. That was the night the Thriller music video premiered. And honestly, nothing in music videos, maybe nothing on TV period, ever looked the same again. I mean, pretty much everyone's seen Thriller. Even if you missed the 80s, you know those visuals, the graveyard, the walking corpses, that dance everyone and their cousin still busts out at Halloween parties. Remember someone shuffling backward with their arms out, and suddenly the whole room tries to join in? You probably jumped in too, right? Don't worry, it happens to literally everybody. But most people don't know the saga that made that video possible. The backstory comes with everything you'd want from a good drama. Lead actresses who turned it down, money problems, religious debates, a superstar who was actually kind of shy, and, even before the music video itself, plans for a behind-the-scenes documentary. Oh, and the best part? The record label wouldn't cough up a penny. Alright, before we go any further, let's set the stage. By late 1983, Thriller, the album, wasn't fresh news. It had been storming charts for a whole year, and already spun off 7 singles. Michael Jackson wasn't some hopeful up-and-comer with something to prove. He was already moonwalking his way across the world. This video was about pushing limits, about doing something totally new. The idea started simple, almost innocent. Michael Jackson called John Landis, the same director who made An American Werewolf in London, and said, with almost childlike excitement, "I want to turn into a monster. For fun. That's it. For fun." Landis wasn't really a music video guy. Back then, music videos were kind of seen as lowbrow, maybe even beneath real filmmakers. Just promotional fluff, nothing serious. But that request caught Landis's attention. Instead of just pointing a camera and filming a performance, he pitched a mini-movie. Real story. Real 35mm film. Oscar-winning makeup artist, Rick Baker. Jackson was in, no questions asked. One major hitch. The money. They needed $500,000. Huge money for a music video in 1983. Michael's label, CBS Records, was done paying for more videos. 2 had already come out from Thriller, and a third wasn't on their agenda, no matter how big Michael was. So Jackson, Landis, and Michael's manager John Branca hatched a plan that was either wild confidence or total genius. They'd film a behind-the-scenes documentary about making the Thriller video and sell that to TV networks to cover the costs of the music video itself. Mind you, the documentary came first. The music video didn't even exist yet. And somehow it worked. MTV and Showtime each bought the documentary for $250,000. That documentary wound up winning a Grammy for Best Video Album. So not only did their funding plan pay the bills, but the documentary turned into its own hit. That's the kind of outcome you dream about but never expect. Casting was another unexpected twist. The first pick for Michael's on-screen girlfriend was Jennifer Beals, riding high from Flashdance. She seemed like the perfect fit, could pull off 1950s drive-in vibes and still feel totally at home in the 1980s. But she turned it down. So they opened up auditions. That's how they found Ola Ray, who showed up and left a serious impression. Landis talked about her giant smile, plus the fact that she was crazy for Michael, which actually turned out to be a decent prerequisite considering the job was acting scared of, then swooning over, one of the planet's biggest celebrities. Ola Ray has always been refreshingly honest about her experience. She said Michael was nothing like any other guy she'd known. Very reserved at first, but he relaxed as filming went on. She described him as sheltered and needing real friends. Friends he could hang out with, not just the mannequins he kept in his room. That one line tells you a lot about where Michael's head was at in his mid-20s. Wildly famous, but still finding ways to cope with the world. Michael's faith became a big part of the story too. While Thriller was filming, he was a devoted Jehovah's Witness. That meant strict rules, no swearing, no sex before marriage, and plenty of anxiety about anything he thought conflicted with his beliefs. He even admitted he had to close his eyes during certain scenes in An American Werewolf in London, the very film directed by the guy now making Thriller with him. So imagine John Landis trying to coax this megastar into playing a little sexier on set. Landis had to tell Michael, more than once, be sexy this time. Michael got the job done, of course, but it didn't come naturally, and Ola Ray said whatever went on in his trailer between takes was, in her words, kindergarten level. Which is kind of adorable, honestly, and fits everything we know about Michael away from the spotlight. The werewolf angle has its own layers. Michael had a tough relationship with anything supernatural. He just wasn't comfortable with occult or spiritual horror, so much so that he insisted the video open with a message, his own words, on a title card, to make it clear, this film in no way endorses a belief in the occult. He wanted fans to know it was entertainment, nothing more. Then, there's the twist that hits a bit harder. Michael confessed to Landis that he wanted to become a monster just to have fun, but growing up, monsters actually terrified him. His father, Joseph Jackson, once snuck into his room wearing a mask, supposedly to teach Michael to keep his window locked. Maybe well-intentioned, maybe not. Either way, it left young Michael with years of nightmares and a deep fear of, even hatred for, monsters. So in a weird way, creating this campy, light-hearted, monster-packed music video was like flipping the script on all his childhood fears. That's powerful. There's a real bravery there, turning old terror into pure fun. And when the final video was done, it ran almost 14 minutes. Not just a music video, but a full story with credits and everything. Over time, it became the first music video to get a spot in the National Film Registry. It's been spoofed, reenacted, and copied more times than anyone could count. Remember all those orange jumpsuits in the Philippines? Even now, when the Michael Jackson biopic rolls out in 2026, you can bet Thriller will take center stage. It's funny, for something that almost didn't happen, because of a stubborn record label, or a skeptical director, Thriller wound up being one of the most iconic pieces of pop culture in history. Sometimes, you just have to find a way. Michael set out to be a monster, just for fun, and ended up making something that's still making people dance in kitchens and living rooms 40 years later. I'd bet good money you're picturing the dance right now, maybe even trying the moves. That's all right, so is everyone else. Did you first catch Thriller the night it hit MTV, or did you discover it later? Drop your story below, I really do want to hear it. And if you enjoyed tagging along for this trip down memory lane, a like and a subscribe always make my day. Catch you next time.